Good morning, everyone, and welcome to GIS's Virtual Careers Day 2021. My name is Darby Davis, and with me today is my colleague, Michelle Burlock. We are extremely excited for everyone who is joining us today. We have over 70 parents and alumni who will be sharing their career journeys with us today. One bonus of our very first Virtual Careers Day is that we have the opportunity to include the GIS community from all over the world. We have panelists joining us from South America, North America, Australia, Europe, and right here in Asia as well. So we give a special thanks to those joining us in the middle of the night. We have over 14 clusters of careers that include everything from business, architecture, and health, to law, hospitality, and technology.
Speaking of South America, we have our opening ceremony guest speaker coming to us live from Santiago, Chile. Nicholas Schmidt is a proud GIS alumni from the class of 1991. He leads Spencer Stewart's financial officer practice in Latin America and is a member of the firm's global financial services practice, focusing in particular on investment banking, wealth management, consumer financial services, and insurance. Nicholas holds a bachelor's degree in Business Administration from the Catholic University of Chile and an MBA from the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Today, Mr. Schmidt is going to talk to us about the benefits as well as the role of soft skills in the executive job force, something that can be benefit to all of us. Please welcome Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you, Michelle, for the warm introduction. This virtual meeting I'm having with all of you is a kind of very positive thing that has flourished amidst so much challenges and pain even in this unthinkable crisis we've lived in the last year. I'm very glad to be with all of you today. As Michelle just mentioned, my name is Nicholas Schmidt, and 30 years ago, I was standing in your shoes, graduating from JIS after 2 life-transforming years in Jakarta. It is absurd, given the strong influence those years had on me, that after I took off my cap and gown, I really have had no contact whatsoever with the school in 30 years. So when I think about that number, I really can't understand how it could be so long when everything is imprinted so freshly on my mind. Well, here I am today, making up for lost time. It goes to show it's never too late. Today, I was hoping to share with you my experience on the importance of soft skills in the job, and when you really come down to it, in all aspects of life. Before I get into the details, let me tell you a bit about myself and how I have learned about these things. When I finished my years at JIS, as I was technically Chilean and had family living there, I drifted to studying business and economics in my home country. After university, I worked about 10 years in investment banking and a couple of years in management consulting. And for the last 10 years, I've been working in leadership consulting as a headhunter, if you want to put it in more colloquial terms, in a multinational firm called Spencer Stewart. And probably even more important on this topic is that I'm married and have 3 teenage kids. So a lot of soft skills needed there. But in my professional role, I get to advise all manner of companies on who to hire, who to develop and promote, as well as helping them improve the performance of their teams. As I work with clients and candidates, I see all the time that while experience and technical knowledge are important, very important, at a certain level, what really makes a difference are the soft skills that executives have. There are all kinds of soft skills, but let me focus on a few of the most important ones. Leadership skills, for example, are one of the main elements of success. So being able to have clarity when communicating a vision, in addition to generating intellectual and emotional buy-in from others, are key. Other elements we consider critical to predict the potential of executives are the interpersonal and social awareness that they have, and the ability to self-evaluate and adjust. Let me go a bit more in depth into these two concepts. So by interpersonal awareness, I mean being able to consider external elements, looking at a situation from multiple angles, using empathetic reasoning, recognizing and responding to people's emotional states, even anticipating likely emotional reactions from others. These skills are what enable you to connect with others, to form bonds with people. In today's complex world, it doesn't really matter how intelligent or able you are. You need a team to be able to really push forward initiatives. So interpersonal awareness is key in this. The second element, self-evaluation and adjustment, are also very important. Unlike the previous concept, this is more about looking into yourself and knowing yourself better. To be able to recognize and accept new information and not stubbornly stand in your preconceived ideas. To look for feedback and be able to use it and improve yourself on constructive criticism. To recognize your personal biases and the flaws in your own ideas and actions. These characteristics enable you to evolve and grow. I'm not sure about what I'm going to say now, but I get a sense that like math and history and literature drills that you get in school and in university, the kind of things I'm talking about don't really get paid much attention there. And like everything in life, knowing about it, understanding these concepts, and then actually working on them and exercising them makes a great deal of difference in your ability to do well in these aspects. So I urge you to proactively think and act on these things, and learning how to lead, and being better in understanding and connecting with others, and also very importantly, learning about yourself and improving yourself. My oldest son, just like many of you, recently finished school and has started college. I thought he would be a good audience to test this on, so I pitched these concepts to him. He pointed out something which I think is important. He said, I should emphasize the importance of acting on this. I think he was quoting some YouTuber when he went on to say people need to seek discomfort. No matter where this came from, I think there's substance in this. You're in your final years of school or going on to university. These coming years will be undoubtedly the most exciting and formative in your life. Don't waste the opportunities to seek discomfort. Test and learn about leadership in all kinds of settings. Sports, arts, academics, business. There's a chance to take leading roles in all of these areas. Interact with all sorts of people. Learn how to relate with them, what triggers them, what inspires them. And probably the hardest of these, make proactive and conscientious efforts to know yourself. And learn how to ask, receive, and build on feedback of others. I hope these few points are useful to you in your journey, wherever it may take you. And thank you very much for giving me the chance to reconnect with this very special JS family. Thank you. Michelle, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schmidt. And thank you for that interesting perspective you've given us on the role of soft skills. Seeking discomfort is something that I think not just students, but all of us are kind of being trialed on right now during COVID, and it's something that we should be embracing. So I appreciate your words on that. Thank you very much.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics published a study that looked at the number of jobs a person held between the ages of 18 and 50. The study shows that the average person will hold at least 12 jobs. We thought it would be fun to take a look and see what jobs the GIS staff have had over the years. So please enjoy our video.
So my first job, I was an assistant clerk, a facilities clerk in an elementary school, and my job was to walk around to different classrooms during the summer and count tables and desks and erasers and all those things and report that back to the head clerk. and let them know what was in each classroom. I did that all summer long.
So my first job was I washed dishes and bussed tables at a giant restaurant / ice cream parlor in Indianapolis. And I had to, at some points, run giant bowls of 50 scoop ice cream cones up and down the aisles while a horn played when people ordered the big party thing. That's my stupid story.
My first job is as a nanny for 1 year when I was in California in my college year. Then I take a leave. Thank you.
My first job was working at a ticketing booth for festivals. I get free tickets to watch concerts.
Hey, my first job was growing up on an ostrich farm and plucking ostrich feathers.
My first job was as a commis or cook at the Hyatt Regency Manila's Italian kitchen. On my very first day on the job, I had to peel hundreds and hundreds of quail eggs. Not a pleasant experience, but I persevered and now I'm the head of admissions.
Okay, my first job was data analyst in London and I worked for the stock exchange with lots of figures, and that's why I quit very quickly.
My first job was in California when I was in university. I was working in the department store and I was selling the baby clothes, and I love fashion, so this is why I like shopping.
Okay, so I grew up on a farm, so my first job when I was 13 years old was potato picking. So, yep, you had to pick the potatoes from the ground, put them in a basket and put them on the tractor. And I got 10 pounds a day.
Hi, my first summer job in high school was I was a U-Pick plant supervisor. And so that would mean that I would go to the strawberry and raspberry fields where the regular public would come and pick their own berries. It's cheaper than buying them in the store. And I would supervise them and collect their money and sell them boxes. And in the end, I had a great tan and I ate lots of fresh, yummy berries.
Okay, my very first job was working in my dad's restaurant. My dad owned restaurants when I was growing up and I had to bus tables. And that is how I knew I didn't want to own restaurants. And I am still a terrible cook.
Hi everyone, I want to tell you about a time that I spent working at a bank. I thought that's where I wanted to be. So I worked for a bank, actually here in downtown Jakarta, and I didn't even last 4 hours. It didn't take long for me to realize that sitting behind a desk, trying to help others with money and banking things wasn't for me. I've been a teacher ever since and have loved what I've been doing for over 30 years.
My best job and my first job are the same because I have been a teacher.
Hello. I guess this is for career day. So my first job in high school, my official first job, was working at Outback Steakhouse as a busboy, cleaning tables. And that was a great high school job.
Well, my first job was working in a golf shop, and I'm still golfing today.
Okay, so my first paid job was being in the Officer Training Corps at university, and I used to teach map reading, run ranges, and run around at night being worried. Huh.
Hi, my first job was on a cattle farm, shoveling manure.
When I was a student, I worked at Wendy's. Where's the beef?
Hello, welcome to Facha Luna. Can I get you a table for two, please? My first job was a restaurant hostess.
So one of my favorite jobs ever was working at Starbucks, and one of the reasons it was so fun is I got to make cappuccinos for all sorts of famous people, like Madonna and Aerosmith and Robert De Niro.
So my favorite job was I used to work in a cinema when I was a student, and I would make coffee and usher people into the cinema and that sort of thing, and I really enjoyed that.
So probably, maybe not my favourite job, but so much different than this job, is I used to be a bicycle mechanic. And so I used to go in and fix people's push bikes.
My weirdest job was working for a paper company in sales. So I was basically like the people in the office for 2 years. I had a little car, I drove around Wales selling paper to printers, and it was not my personality at all, but it was very fun.
The weirdest job probably for you guys was I worked in a youth
correctional facility, prison for ages 14 to 21. I worked there for 5 years.
My weirdest job after college was I worked as an exterminator for about a year before becoming a teacher.
One of the weirdest jobs I ever did was packing frozen apple strudel, and those that didn't fit in the box I got to take home and eat at the end of the day.
I've had so many jobs. I was a pizza guy, I was a grocery store. What else did I do? Infantry, marketing director, adventure shop, all sorts of stuff.
Potato picker, plucking ostrich feathers, serving lattes to Madonna. I learned so much about my colleagues filming those videos, so it's been a fun experience to see what everybody was up to prior to becoming a teacher. And I think that we think that our career paths are often in a linear direction, but as you can see from all our colleagues, that sometimes they go in different directions. So just a good point to keep an open mind and have a great day today. Thank you.
All right, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. This concludes our opening ceremony for Careers Day 2021. Students, I just want to give you a reminder that your first session begins at 8:15. Please do not be late. Make sure that your mic is off and your video on. There will be plenty of opportunity to ask questions, so make sure you're listening, jotting down notes, and please take advantage of today. We have some amazing, amazing people joining us. So everyone, have a great day. Thank you.